Well, I got a few more flags here. It's these are 4x6s, and I'm going to change out that 5x8 flag because it could have a little too much strain on that pole. Even a 4x6 might. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I just want to show you the price and go over 2 points on this. I never saw a price on a flags this cheap for this size. This was from Rebel Nation, and they were $11.95 each. And since I ordered from them before, I took off a 10% discount. So basically, pretty much it was a wash with the shipping. So it was $36.22 delivered for 3 flags. And these flags are pretty high quality. I was pretty surprised. You know, they got 4 stitches on the fly side, then they're double stitched on the top and the bottom. Plus they got the canvas header plus 3 grommets, brass grommets. And I'm also going to go over and tell you how I constructed this flag, because I was looking at, you know, prices of flagpoles from online, and I saw a lot of complaints about some of the residential quality flagpoles blowing over in the first stiff breeze. I'm going to show you some things I did to this pole, but first off, the flagpoles that they sell, they are thicker, like wider diameter, but they're aluminum. This is actually steel fencing pole, and I think it's about an 1/8 inch thick. So it's pretty thick stuff. A lot of times you'll see the residential poles, they might be a larger diameter pipe, but they're aluminum, and they're like, I think they're like 16 gauge, which is, that's some real thin stuff, man. It's not a 1/16 of an inch, I know that. It's thinner than that. So they can handle, I don't know, maybe 50-mile-an-hour gust. But you're talking about a 3x5 flag. The bigger the flag you put on there, the more strain, and the higher up it goes, the more strain that's on the pole. And I don't have anything fancy on this. I'm going to show you some tricks, though, I did when I made this. Now, what I did was you can actually even use the top header pole on, you see going across there, on a fence. That, if you put on that flagpole down there, all I have is one of the line poles, not an end corner pole. That's an end corner pole right there. It was just like one of the line poles, which is like that, you know. One of those with a top header pole stuck in the middle of it with a bunch of freaking Gorilla tape on the top, wrapped around the top header, the top pole that fits inside there, so it's tight. That's all that is. That survived Hurricane Irma. That pole with the flag up on it. But that's just, I think that's around a 52 by 54 inch square flag, almost a square. It's the forest flag. So, and I didn't use anything special for a halyard in any kind of pulley system. I'll show you what I did. I just used eye bolts and paracord. I'll show you how I have these flags attached too. Okay, for my halyard, I just used braided paracord, and you don't want to use cord that is like triple wound cord, and you definitely want to use a polyester cord if possible, because it's more solar resistant or UV resistant. Nylon will break down in the sun. This cord, the reason you want to use braided is as you pull the flag tight, if it's a triple wound, it'll make a turn. It'll actually turn like that, and so it'll cause the flag to cause it to wrap around itself. You see, this is all I use on the bottom here, eye bolt. That's it. Nothing fancy at all. So I'm going to change this one out to the 4x6, just to be a little more on a cautious side. Hopefully that's enough that it won't have any problems. In case you don't want, and you can see how I joined this pole. This was just welded together. There was an outer, it's the same diameter pipe. I put a pipe inside the pipe, you made a cut with the cutoff wheel, crushed the pipe so the same diameter size pipe fit inside the other pipe, and then I cut another section, and I welded this section, opened it up a little bit, and then I welded to the outside where it's joined together. Just fencing pipe. It's just that stuff that goes up and down right there. That stuff. The top rail of the fence actually could make a pretty good flagpole for a 15-footer. They're actually stronger than a lot of the stuff you'll see that looks wider diameter, because that pole is steel. It's not aluminum, and it's thicker. Some of these poles that cost commercial duty, are well over $1,000 just for a freaking 25-footer. Even a cheap residential pole is a couple $100, and 50-mile-an-hour winds, you probably fold that up like nothing. Now I also have this down here, which means nobody can really, it's double fenced up. It's like nobody can really get at this flag too easily. You have to jump 2 fences. Plus, it's supported over here, so should be okay. But just on the safe side, I'm going to put the 4x6. And note what I did down here. No special like fastener with metal and stuff. This is simply an overhand knot that you put in a rope prior to installing the flagpole, and you can move this overhand knot up higher, like if it's a little bit smaller flag. And this, when you put these zip ties through there, you want to have it where the rope is just a little slacker than the flag, so it pulls the flag taut. The middle grommet, you want to have this loose, so this can float up and down on there. Then the top grommet is, you see there's a double overhand, double, what do you call it, square knot with a bunch of zip ties through there. I've had these flags up here flying for years like that, just using this method. So there's no special fasteners. It's just some heavy-duty paracord that's braided, not a triple strand, because you see, if you have the triple strand and you pull this tight and you have it attached here and attached down there, it causes the flag to turn down here. That's why you want to have a braided cord. And nothing fancy with the hardware over here. See, that's all. So this whole kit, I mean, this was way under $100, I think. I'm pretty sure of it. And it's a lot better than the ones that are $200. So a lot stronger. I'd say it's on par with a $350 to $400 flagpole strength. And if it bends, it's going to have this pole will just go inside a thicker pole up to maybe halfway up, and we'll go back to the drawing board. I don't think it will, though. Especially the actual size for the you can run a 3x5, a 4x6, or a 5x8 on a 25-foot flagpole. Most recommended is a 4x6, so we're going to do a 4x6. Just because sometimes the winds really kick up here hard, and we'll see how it works out. I think a 4x6 will survive pretty heavy-duty winds. Okay, so it's a next size flag down, but I don't think it's going to have a problem knocking that pole down, because I can see that pole's not wobbling now. So that's what I'm interested in. It's not much breeze right now. It'll catch a little less breeze too, but it's still going to be very visible. It's a 4x6, 26 feet up in the air. Yeah, it's not like it's not visible. That's for sure. But, we get some pretty good winds up here. So I'd rather err on a side of caution. So 4x6 is 24 square feet area, a sail area. A 5x8 is 40. So you're talking about 80% bigger sail area. So it's still that's actually the right size flag for that pole. Should go to a 30-foot flagpole with a 5x8, but then I barely got that flagpole up myself as it was, man. It was a Herculean effort, believe me. You just go up another 10 feet from 15 to 16 feet. The other ones are like 16 feet, and then you go up to 26 feet, it's it's a hell of a lot more difficult. So I got 2 extra flags for that, and you can see the simple setup. That's how, you know, there's not much breeze out here, but that's how these have been flying. Same thing, you know. Same thing. That's how they've been flying. I have no problems with them. I've had a flagpole out here for 20-something years. Didn't have the Confederate flag here except for the last, I think, 3 years. 2 or 3 years. 2 years maybe. So, yeah, 2 years. And there you go. Catches a little less wind too. But I just think that when we get these thunderstorms kicking up 40, 50 mile an hour winds, I don't want to have to go back to the drawing board putting up another flagpole. So at least this thing, I think it'll stay up there, no problem. Yeah. And they're a little cheaper to replace. So if it lasts a year, it's only like $11. I got 2 more. So it's for the next 3 years. I should be set. But that's my tricks. I mean, you know, galvanized steel pole. That's all it is. Pole was, you know, it's set up the same way, but that pole is just a, it was some water pipe. It was a thick water pipe I picked up someplace. I put a pipe within a pipe with, what do you call that stuff? Gorilla tape, so it fit tight and hammered it together. That pole's been up there since 1996, and I flew flags through hurricanes. The flags have been flying through Hurricane Irma and all that type of stuff with the little tripod on the bottom. But that flagpole is now coated with truck bed lining, so it doesn't rust. So, you know, it doesn't have to be silver, it doesn't have to be white, it can be black. That flagpole is black, that flagpole is green down there, and this one is silver. So, yeah, this flag does catch a little less wind because it's smaller, but, you know, that's good because I want to see that flagpole bend. I don't think it will with the way it's braced up, but occasionally we get some really wild thunderstorms down here, and you know, I'd rather err on the caution of putting a 4x6 up. So I've got 3 extra flags, and not extremely difficult to do. You could also run that 4x6 on a but the biggest you can run on a 15, 20 foot, I say a 20 foot pole might be, if you did a 17 foot pole, you can run a 4x6. It might be a little bit big, but, you know, that's, you know, what the hell can I tell you, man? I'm not, I'm kind of doing seat of the pants redneck engineering here because, you know, I think that 5x8 flag would hold up there under normal circumstances, but if we get one of these, you know, tornado watches or some crap, and not necessarily a tornado, but a storm that kicks up, big heavy gusts, I don't want to have to be replacing a flagpole. And we'll see if this one holds up as it is, even with this flag, but I'd rather err a little more on the side of caution. Now, if I have a problem with this flagpole, I'll repair it, and maybe I'll put a 3x5, but the 4x6 is actually the right size for middle of the road for a 25, it's 26 foot flagpole. So, but, you know, you could spend, I think a 25 foot flagpole that's real commercial grade, they start at around $750 and $900. I mean, I could buy that, but that's how you lose your money, you see. You keep spending money like that. I ain't doing that. And you can get a 70 foot flagpole, not including the concrete, for $11,000. You know, I guess if I was permanently down in Florida, maybe I would get a 40 or 50 foot one, commercial grade, that's designed to withstand hurricanes and fly a huge Confederate flag. Maybe that would be the deal. I don't know. I've been up in the ante here, piece by piece. You know what I mean? But still, that flag flies good. There's not much breeze out here, so you know, it works okay. Looks good to me.